This is my latest discussion post for my drug class. It is what are the dangers in the use of ecstasy in the club or rave environment? How can this issue be addressed? And I will read that now. Okay, this is what I wrote. It's pretty good. Okay. Because MDMA is illegal almost everywhere, the purity of each tablet sold as ecstasy is probably questionable. There may be other drugs mixed in with MDMA that are cheaper and produce similar effects, such as amphetamine and caffeine. There have been tablets of ecstasy containing no MDMA at all, but instead very toxic chemicals like hair bleach, battery acid, and talcum powder. There are pills sold as ecstasy known as PMA, which is a very potent amphetamine that can be deadly. It's fast acting even at low doses, and someone believing they are taking ecstasy may take too much, which can be fatal. The fact is that the buyer doesn't have a clue about whether or not the pill they are taking is really what the seller is claiming, unless they personally witnessed the chemist making the specific batch of pills. Selling drugs is all about the money and the status and the lifestyle, but mostly it's about the money. And anything dealers can do to maximize profits, they will do. What do they care? I believe a common mentality among dealers is if the buyer is stupid enough to buy a drug unknown to them, they deserve the negative and potentially fatal effects. That was my mentality as a dealer anyway, so I can say that much. However, MDMA studies are showing possible benefits in psychology and therapy, as well as other fields. One effect of MDMA is the way it allows the user to break down the walls of self-consciousness and anxiety. Studies of MDMA used medically are showing also that MDMA may be beneficial to patients with mild psychiatric conditions and possibly effective in pain relief, specifically from long-term terminal cancer pain. MDMA is currently being tested for its possible positive effects with the treatment of PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. The Netherlands is the only country in the world where MDMA is legally regulated for medical use only. The issue really comes down to educating people about the drug, including the benefits and adverse effects. As we have seen with the prohibition of alcohol and marijuana, scare tactics and making drugs like these illegal is ineffective and has led to countless other problems. Now, ecstasy is not on that level in terms of the effects criminalized marijuana has on our economy and society, but that doesn't mean that criminalizing it is the best way to go. The effects of MDMA are certainly serious. When taken in high dosages, it can cause serious problems like heart or kidney failure, brain damage with long-term users, and severe dehydration, among others. That's exactly why we need to educate the public. Trying to scare people away from something is historically ineffective and leads to mistrust of the government, and continuing down this path will eventually make the government unable to educate people because there will be a wide loss of faith and mistrust in the government. Raves and clubs providing water to everyone is a great positive step. They can't control what drugs people take, and their only other option would be to shut down. But it's their right to have their establishment, obviously, and to provide the services they provide, which is really just electronic and dance music and crazy light shows. This environment is certainly conducive to the use of club drugs, but the same can be said about certain music shows being conducive to weed smoking. Should the concert venue be forced to shut down? Should bands everywhere be morally obligated to not play live music? No, and no.